We are now going to start writing equations of lines. And the first form that we are introducing in this unit is going to be our point slope form. So our goals for today, one, we are going to define that point slope form. And then two, we will apply it when we are given information about a line and we want to come up with the equation. So specifically today, we're going to introduce our point slope form. What is really handy about the point slope form is that it is very intuitive when we are going to use it. When we have a point and a slope, that's going to be useful information. So we're going to use point slope form when we have the point and the slope of a line. Occasionally, we will need to find the slope, and then we'll use the point slope form as well. Let's look at the definition. So if we have a given point, and you'll notice the distinction here, it's x sub 1, y sub 1. That just means a specific point on our line. And the line has to be a non-vertical line. So this won't be applicable to any x equals a line. X equals 2, x equals -7. They don't fall into the point slope form. So any non-vertical line that has a slope of m. The equation of our point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Keeping in mind that blue x1, y1 is my specific point. The m is my slope. I'd like to start us off with a nice friendly problem like 1, for example, where we have, or we're asked to find the point slope form of this equation that goes through the point -3, 5 and has a slope of -3/4. When we see that point -3, 5, we should immediately know that's my x1, y1. And they give us the slope is -3/4, so that's my m. We have our equation up there to guide us. We know that the equation will be y minus y1. My y1 in this problem is 5. My x1 is -3, my y1 is 5. Y minus 5 equals m, which is -3/4, times x minus, and our x1 is -3. So instead of saying minus -3, we write that as y as x plus 3. And that's our equation of a line. Let's try one more of these when we're given another point and a slope. Write the equation of a line going through the point 8, -3 with a slope of -12. Our 8, -3, well, that's our x1, y1. And we know that our m is 12. It's -12. Up there in red, we see what that point slope form is until we're more familiar with it. We just keep it there. And we write y minus, and we replace our y1 with what it is in this problem. It's -3. So I'll put y plus 3 equals my m is -12 times my x minus x1. Our x1 is 8. And that's our point slope form. In some problems, we're not as fortunate to be given the point and the slope. We might need to do a little more work for it. So in question 3, if we want to find the equation of a line in point slope form that goes through those 2 points, -8, 3 and 4, 5, we're first going to have to find the slope of the line that contains those 2 points. We'll need to go back to our slope equation, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And if I use that for these 2 ordered pairs, we end up with the slope of 5 minus 3 over 4 minus -8. And that cleans up to give us 5 minus 3 over 4 plus 8, which is 2 over 12. And we can reduce that to 1/6. We know our slope is 1/6, and now we actually have 2 points. We can choose any one of those 2 to use our point slope form with. There's our point slope equation. What if I try using point slope with the first the first point. That would be y minus y1, which is 3, if I'm using that one, equals what my m is 1/6 times x minus, and my x1 in that one is -8. So I could put that as x plus 8. Or if I wanted to use 4, 5 as my point instead, my equation would look like this. Y minus 5 equals, my m is still the same, 1/6, x minus 4. One more example, similar to 3, is using the 2.63 and -312. We see the first thing that we need to do in this problem is find our slope. We plug in y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and when we simplify, that reduces to -1. So we've got a slope of -1, and we've got two options for the points. If I chose 6, 3 as the point to use, we would have y minus our y1 is 3 equals our m, which is -1, times x minus x1, and our x1 is 6. Or if we chose -312 as our x1, y1, we would then have y minus 12 equals -1 times x minus -3, which we write as x plus 3. This last example is just the scenario where we have a horizontal line. Remember, for our horizontal line, our slope is 0. So if they tell us that they want the equation of a horizontal line that passes through that point, our x1, y1, in point slope form, it would look like this. Y minus 2 equals my m, which is 0, times x plus 6. But I hope that you see that entire right side of the equation is 0. So it really reads y minus 2 equals 0, which, folks, is the same as y equals 2.